I'm Caleb. Please like and subscribe.
All right. Well, welcome back to another CryptoBros podcast, number 21.
21.
Yay!
And we got a special
Are you going to
guest
throw a party every time we announce the number now? Okay, cool.
party man. All right. Well, we got a special guest. I'll let you.
Yeah, so I'm sure
introduction.
some of you guys that are watching now have seen it on Twitter, and that we've been excited about it for, I don't know, about 2 weeks, but I want to introduce Holly.
Yeah.
So, Holly,
Hey.
we met on Twitter, basically by me following her, seeing her pop up on my feed, and Holly and I talked on the phone, what is it, a couple of weeks ago now, for like an hour. And I told her then, I said, when I saw you on Twitter, my first thought was, this can't be real. Like, she's so positive. Like, everything is positive, and there's always like daily advice and things like that come across that, and it is amazing to me how much you and I think alike too. Like, the things that you say, I'm like, I just had that conversation with somebody, not too long ago, or whatever it may be. But so this is episode 21.
Yeah.
We've had a couple guests, but we've really kind of waited until we got the kinks worked out of everything, to bring somebody like Holly on, and we're super excited about it. Just as a side note, we're 100% transparent in everything we do, right? So if you go to our YouTube channel, you can go back all the way to the very first podcast and see how this whole thing started.
It's my favorite.
It was ugly.
favorite?
I mean, it wasn't pretty. So, but Holly, we are very, very happy to have you on here. We've got a lot of cool things planned. I think everybody's going to enjoy. But as we get started, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I started this whole crypto journey through Doge, actually.
That's great. Really happy.
I started with Doge. I got in
Yes.
pretty early. And then, I decided that I wanted to kind of branch out and look for, different cryptos because I didn't really know much about it. My little brother actually told me about SAFEMOON. And so, it took 2 weeks for me to actually get on board with SAFEMOON because I was like, he sent me a YouTube video and I was like, that is a lot of work to buy this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was like, I'm good. It seems like too much work. And so he just kind of hounded me. And then I started researching more about it. And I decided, okay, I'll join. So around that same time, I joined late March. I then got onto Twitter. And it was solely to see what Elon Musk was tweeting out.
I'm telling you, it's the exact same story for me. The exact same story.
It was Doge.
Yeah, it was Doge. And so then I just kind of stumbled into the community of SAFEMOON, and I love them. Like, I really, really enjoy every single person, even those futters and the ones that, love to troll you. I appreciate them. They
Right.
actually bring out the positivity even more because you don't want to be like that. So,
Right.
you show me how not to be, so thanks.
Yeah, I think sometimes
Amen.
in life we learn how to act by the way others do it wrong, or how to do something correctly by the way others do it wrong. So, yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah.
And
But-
so I don't know. And my positivity literally comes from that's just who I am. And people don't think it's real. And that's the way my life is so much happier being positive. It's easier for me to be positive. And I have a daughter and I try to rub that off on her. Because, high school, she's in high school, can be really brutal all in itself. And so, teaching her that good attitude will also help. So, I don't
Absolutely.
know. That's who I am.
Amen.
Yeah.
Genuine.
So I have a teenage daughter that's a senior this year, and Caleb has a teenage daughter that's a senior this year. And that is a brutal time, especially for girls, I believe. As a guy, I just kind of let things run, roll off my back. Not a big deal. But as a girl, Emotions are different. People are wired different. So the world can be a very cruel place sometimes. So I think that's why. Okay. So I think that's why. See, we can edit stuff like that out, Holly. But I think that's why the positivity that you bring to Twitter is so important, because, man, our stories when it comes to Twitter are pretty much like yours. We noticed that after the fact, Elon would tweet something about Doge, and I wanted to know when he was tweeting it about Doge. So when I first started my personal account, I only followed Elon Musk. That was it, because I was like, I'm gonna do the buys and the sells here, and I'm gonna be on top of it. And then we started this business over a year ago. I mean, we've been trading in cryptos for 2.5, 3 years, something like that. Mm-hmm. But we decided at some point that people wanted help to be able to trade, because, like you said, buying SAFEMOON was not easy. Like, this guy had to walk me through it in hour-long phone calls, and I'm like, are you sure this is even worth it? Like, I feel like my time is being wasted here. But when it came to Twitter and then we started this, we thought we needed a little bit of an online presence, just to get things out there. And in the beginning, when I was following like 30 people, everybody was cool, right? Then, now that we're following hundreds of people, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of negativity out there in the Twitter world. So, but we refuse, as it seems like you do, to be a part of that.
Yeah.
So we just aren't going to be those guys.
I try not to. I mean, sometimes it does get the best of you because you want to respond and stick up for yourself, And so there's just certain things that I'm like, I'm going to respond, and then I'll erase them, and then I get the you deleted your comments, so that means I'm like, no, it's just because I don't want that out there. I don't want that negativity all the time. And yes, and okay, so basically what I was saying was, the general, like, I guess, idea that people have out there is you like to have a lot of followings, and I have 9,000, and every time I get a new one, I get nervous, and I get a good 30 a day, and
really?
It just makes me it makes me nervous inside, because I know that the more following you have, the more negativity and hateful people you get as well. And
I had not thought of it like that, but yeah, I can see that.
I started out and I had one follower, and that was my sister-in-law. And so, as I started following people, when SAFEMOON first, when I first got involved with the community, it was fun. And I mean so much fun. I just got introduced to so many people, different walks of life, different, and everybody was just not so much positive, but there wasn't as much hate as I see now. And the community definitely was not split the way, it kind of is right now. And when we say, the army is strong, there is not one person that can actually say, no, it's not. Because we were strong. We still are.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, we break things all the time. I had tweeted out something about Glow Nation. Do you guys know Glow Token?
Yeah, we're invested in that.
Yeah.
They have this really cool tracker. And I had tweeted it out, like, if you have Glow, go on here. It literally broke, like, within 10 minutes of me tweeting that out. Wow. So,
I actually was able to get on that before it broke, but then I read a tweet within like 30 seconds later that it broke, and I was like, phew, okay.
Yes, so, I mean, you always have to be prepared, but the way things are right now, I feel like a lot of people are getting so tired of the negativity that's out there. I mean, I know I am, but that's why I try really hard to, my positive posts every single morning. And, the best feeling in the whole world is that people, if I'm later than normal,
I've seen this.
And they're like, Holly, are you okay? We haven't seen your post. Are you good? And so
I've seen people even put that on your space, like, Holly, you haven't put this out yet. I need my daily Holly dose. And I'm like, You know you're doing something right when you're doing that. So
Exactly. And, selfishly, it helps me too.
yeah.
Because when I, just think of something in the morning, it's like, okay, how am I feeling that morning? And that, that little bit that I really think about, it helps me more than I feel like it helps others. But I've gotten so much good feedback saying, thank you for this. I needed this today.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm gonna guess that.
never know.
I'm gonna guess that most people don't think Holly ever has a bad morning.
No. I mean, we all do, but to me, when I do have a bad morning, my tweets actually help.
Yep. I will tell you.
It kind of turns my morning around.
Yeah, I mean, I am the typical American male, testosterone, macho, all that sort of stuff. But what's starting to happen is that people are starting to be okay with like talking about their feelings and stuff like that. And I think your posts that are out there, I mean, I know they've helped me from time to time where I'm like, you know what, Holly's right. I don't need to be worried about that. That's stupid. I don't put that on a back burner. That doesn't even matter, so. But no, I think it's really good because let me ask you a question that kind of a follow-up on that. Do you think that some of the negativity, if not most of the negativity that's kind of within not just the SAFEMOON army, but just in Twitter, especially the crypto side, has to do with that we've been into a long bear market and
Yes,
people are
100%.
not... Remember how it used to be when we were talking about this morning? We'd come in, flip on our monitors, watch the green candles all over the place. Yay!
Yeah.
And now it's like,
Those were the days.
it went up,
Coffee
1% today.
green.
Let's get excited. And I don't know, and it's not my business, but I don't know how many people have overinvested. But my guess is there's a lot, and that they kind of get into a point, especially when Doge is not the norm. When that happened a couple years ago, I think very new investors thought, well, this is just how it always goes. And so I think, my thoughts only, I don't have stats to prove this, but just with people I've talked to, I think a lot of people put money in they couldn't necessarily afford to, thinking they were going to cash out a week,
Quick,
2 weeks, 3 weeks later, and then the market went down, and now you have to explain that to yourself, your kids, your wife, whatever it may be. And I just can't help but think that's part of the reason why there is so much negativity right now.
Yeah.
I think that's the majority of the reason why, to be honest with you. I've seen it since, at least since, early April of 2021.
Yeah.
That everything was sunshine and rainbows.
Absolutely.
Things were going up. Things were looking really good. And then you see, it started going down and, oh my gosh, it's a scam. And this isn't, and then there's just so much FUD. I hate that word.
You know what? I am with you 100%. That's just one of those weird words.
Loosely, and it's, it's really not the way. Anyhow, and then it was like June-ish, I believe, it started kind of going up again, and then it definitely not back to all-time highs like it was, but then it would go back down, and here it comes, and it seems like that is the pattern. When things are down, that's when you get all the crazies that come out, because I feel like, yes, people are looking at this as a pipe dream, sadly. And, for me, I came into crypto thinking it was funny money. So, it was like,
me too.
Yeah.
I just never invested more than I could afford to lose. I don't spend my whole paycheck. I didn't pull out my 401k. I still have all of that, but I have spare money that I put into crypto, and it's done great. I've also got rug pulled. I've been through it.
We have too. I could name
Big
some
time.
names, but we made a pact a long time ago to not name names. So we'll just leave it at that.
Well, I even worked for a project. It was called the Crypto Bulls, and we had a vision, we had a dream that it could be something, and you realize how hard it is.
Yes.
It is very hard. You need to have the right people, and You have personalities that don't align. You have people who don't know each other, period. I mean, because you're getting all these people from the internet, that you actually don't know. Luckily with that project, we were able to give our investors pretty much all their money back plus some.
Good.
And we just dissolved of it because it was like, we don't have the right people in place. And so, I mean, that's the benefit of it. Yes, we could have rug pulled it and been gone, but that's not who I am. But that also taught me that it's going to have to be a big, good, honest project for me to ever get involved again in any of it. And so, I have been offered positions in different projects, a lot of big projects, and to me, I don't want to bring that negativity that follows me, unfortunately, to their project, especially if their project is doing so well, like Glow Token.
Yeah.
I love that team. Love them, and they're doing good for the world. And I mean, it's a charity token, and they have all these great things with it. And if I was going to be a part of any, it would be Glow. But unfortunately, they don't have that FUD. They don't have that negativity towards them, because how do you FUD a charity project, right? Like,
I don't know, but I figure Twitter might be able to figure that out.
Oh yeah.
So, but I mean, I respectfully decline that job offer because I don't want to be the reason negativity goes in there. No, but I support them, and I mean, that's with every project. I try, as long as I see that there are good people involved, I try to support them all. And not just SAFEMOON. I just love SAFEMOON because of the community. And they have a vision that, being from the tech world, they say the right words for me that I'm like, okay, this is a thing. Because
that's
not
term.
a lot of places. Yes.
That's it.
So with that being said, when we talk about the division, we talk about this off camera a lot. Is it just us, or do you see more and more out there, and not necessarily just in Twitter, but just in all your dealings, that people, if they're not invested in a project, that more and more people want that project to fail? Like, I only want the projects to succeed that I'm invested in.
Yeah.
And we think that's foolish. Like, we want all projects to succeed. We don't have enough money to be invested in all of them.
Right.
So we do our research. We pick the ones that we think are good, and then we still root for the other ones, But I see on Twitter all the time where people are like, I think anyways, that they go, well, I'm not going to root for that one, and I'm going to talk bad about this one or whatever because I'm not in it. Do you see that too on your end?
Oh, yeah. I mean, and a lot stems from jealousy.
Okay, good word.
Especially if I hate saying that too, because
but it's true.
But it's honest.
Yeah.
If you didn't get in on pre-sale or you didn't get in from the beginning, then of course you're going to be jealous of the people who did. The people who paid attention, who really did their research and said, hey, I'm going to get in this one. This one seems good. And then, it's a lot of the people who get in more at the all-time high and it goes low. And they didn't make anything. So, I mean, it's kind of both people. That is why, like, they hate on it. The people who didn't get in, get that moonshot from the beginning are jealous. I hate to say that, but that's what I see every single day, every single project. Yeah.
Well, and when it comes to that too, it's also one of those deals where I don't hear about all the pre-sales, and I research 30, 40 hours a week. I mean, that's just what I do. That is actually, I'm blessed enough that is my job. And I still don't hear about all the pre-sales.
No, there's so many.
but I my brain, and I guess the way I'm wired, I think the way you're wired is, just because I didn't hear about it, or maybe I didn't have the money to put into that project, I'm not going to get jealous over somebody that 200 times their money. I'm going to root for that person.
Heck yeah, it feels so good when when people win. Shouldn't you? I don't know. It makes me happy inside when other people win, not just myself.
Absolutely.
I'm not selfish that way.
We feel the
So
same way.
if it's, some random weird, there's been some weird names out there for tokens that have done really good and people have made a lot of money on it.
Yep.
Great. That's awesome. I just hope you did your research because you never know these days.
So
I'll make it work.
If Greg, 20x his money on a project, and I'm like, I want to get in on that, and then so I overextend because, hey, it worked for Greg. I know Greg. I trust Greg. That project may be to a point where it's not going to make any more money.
Mm-hmm. And then I cash out. Josh invests and it tanks.
Yeah, and now I say I put $1,000 in it, and it's worth $10. Part of me, if I don't understand crypto, is going to be very upset. Like, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. There are still people out there that bought ETC at $160, and it's about $35 a day.
Hey,
those people have a right to be upset.
Or Axie Infinity at $160, and it's now $14.
Yeah.
Yes. So I kind of do get that, but to bring that all the way back around, I think that's why people gravitate towards you. I mean, I didn't know how many followers you had. 9,000 seems like a lot because I think we only have like 300. I don't know what it is. We don't really keep track of it that much, but so we have yet to see a lot of the FUD because that's a way bigger number than what ours is. But we still see it, so I can only imagine the DMs and things like that you get. So kudos for keeping a positive attitude.
Oh yeah, we deal with the FUD pretty well though. We're the same way. Do all things with kindness.
Yeah,
for real. Yeah. That's really good and that's important in life. Mm-hmm. And you change the environment around you.
We have seen, like on our YouTube channel, the more subscribers we get, the weirder the comments have become on our videos. It's like, wait a second, what? And we try to interact with all the people out there, but sometimes we just delete the comment because there's no basis for it. Yeah. There's no reason for it to be out there. And I kind of look at it as, if my daughter was on this channel, would I want her to read this comment? Yeah. Exactly. And if the answer is no, then I just delete it because life's too short for that kind of stuff.
Bless your heart, delete.
But so let me ask you a couple more questions, and then we'll kind of get into what's going on in the crypto world and things like that. But so you got into Doge, and then into SAFEMOON because of your brother. Mm-hmm. What has kept you in crypto? Like, we know why you got in it, but now why is it such a big part of what you do?
This is going to sound crazy, but it's the people, the community. Okay. I really appreciate the fun banter that we have every day. I have a lot of people that make me laugh on a regular basis. Like,
I started following some of those people because they make us laugh too.
That's medicine. Yeah. That's good medicine.
Yeah, it is. And it's just, to me, it brings so much just joy. I mean, even, I have trolls that will ask me if they control my comments. And if I say no, they won't do it. Like, they're respectable trolls.
Well, I was going to say.
That seems like the opposite definition of a troll.
May I please troll you?
But they go on other people's accounts and I see them and I'm like, be nice. I'll DM them and say, you need to be nice. But
that is hilarious.
Yeah. Those are my favorite. I don't know. I like everybody, or at least I try really hard. You have to really push me for me not to like you. But I just enjoy people.
Wow. I'm the nice one here.
No, I think that's perfect. So, people is huge in what we do. It seems like it's huge in what you do. Crypto for us is not about becoming millionaires or asking when Lambo. Crypto for us is to help provide more time, because the more time we can spend with people one-on-one, the more time we can spend with people in groups, the more that we can give of ourselves. We feel like that's more valuable than anything else. And if crypto is that avenue that allows us to do that, then that's why we're all about it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of why, we aren't the only people that have gravitated to your Twitter feed, obviously, but I think that's why we did, because it was just so positive, and it would align right along with what we are talk about in our offices every day. So, but I think I already knew the answer to this next question based on what you've said. But when you look into a project, is it about the utility and the project, or is it about the people and the team?
Both.
Okay. Well, do you have one that you think's more important?
Honestly, for me personally, it's the people and
Okay.
the honesty of the people, and you know what they're saying. Like I was saying earlier, there's keywords in there that you really need to kind of search for when they're speaking in an AMA, or you know, just in their tweets alone. There's just things that they say that's like, okay, they're more aligned with what I'm looking for in a project. And then, of course, you have, you know, the roadmap and white paper and all that stuff that you want to look into.
Yep, that's important too.
Now, you have to always keep in mind that just because they have that doesn't mean they're going to follow it, right? So
absolutely.
It's just
And
more
it doesn't
about
mean they
honesty
should
of
always
people.
follow it.
Right?
You know, you have to be able to change on the fly.
Yes, always. I mean, even, you know, in my actual job, I pivot all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on one thing and they're like, no, you know, we need to move over to this, and it's something completely different. So
yeah, if you were to blindly follow the white paper and didn't pivot as things were changing, that project's going to fail. There's no way. And sometimes I feel like the fudders are out there going, well, that's not what you said you were going to do. Well, yeah, but thousands of pieces of information have now come forward that make us realize we need to change our vision. So, yeah, I'm with you 100% because we don't name names on this program, especially we'll talk about projects, but we don't name names behind the scenes of it, unless it's a positive thing. But there are certain people out there that if they become part of a project, I'm not going to invest in it. I'm just not going to. But there are other people that I'm going to, if I am not sure about it, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. You know, because I think people are important.
Right. And that's how I am. And, you know, there has been some things. I meet everybody and anybody I can. I mean, granted, it is always in a public setting. So,
yeah, that's probably
just
smart.
in case. But I've met some people who are, you know, quote unquote scammers, you know, from what the community says, this is what they do. You know, I've never personally seen it for myself. I've never seen any proof that that's what they've done. So I'm not going to judge you. But if I do see proof, and you know, I do know how people may find this shocking, but I can read the blockchain and I know about contracts. I mean, it's kind of, I love to do it. I just don't like to pry
Me too.
into people's information. Because I hate when they do it to me. I mean, they were doing it to me not too long ago and saying, you know, I'm dumping on projects, and it's like, well, if you really knew how to read that blockchain, you'd see it's all given away.
Yeah.
It's not dumping, it's giving to somebody else for giveaways. Come on.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
if you're active out there, you and you're in those spaces, you see you people like you giving those tokens away all the time, you know, and so to dump on somebody that's doing a nice thing is insane to me, you know.
It's crazy town. I mean, like, where's the fiat? Because I have gotten no money, you know.
Yeah.
Until you can prove that. But it's just, you know, I always like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I am not a judger at all. If you don't want to be in a project, fine. Go ahead and sell it. That's okay. That's your money, not mine.
Yeah.
It's yours.
Yep.
You might get hammered on Twitter for selling though.
Oh,
which I think is hilarious. If you aren't
just
selling,
recently
what is
did
the
for
point
selling
of
one.
buying?
Right. I recently sold one to buy into another. And then I sold that one and I made a pretty good profit, which is going right back to the community for giveaways. But if you don't want to tell that story, do you?
No.
No way.
Misery loves company, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's another reason why it's so important for what you're doing out there. You know, if you ever feel like you're not making a difference, shoot me a DM and I will tell you otherwise. because
you
you are
are.
absolutely making a difference out there, and we appreciate you.
And there's like-minded people for sure.
Yeah, and we're going to get into your business a little bit down the road, but it's going to be in a fun way. Okay, when we get to Caleb's Choice, we're going to ask you some questions, but it's going to be a fun thing, not a negative thing. Okay. So we'll end this little segment with one last question, and if you don't have a good answer, that's cool. But if you do, what is one thing that people out there may not know about you that you maybe want them to know or think it would be funny if they did know? Does that make sense? So you're pretty open out on Twitter. I wondered, is there like one thing? Because I actually, the only reason I would ask you this question is because I was in a space, I don't remember if it was last Sunday or the Sunday before, in the barbershop space, and I found out something about you that I did not know.
Frogs?
Yeah.
Frogs.
I am deathly afraid of frogs. I almost broke my elbow the other day. Because we get monsoon seasons around here, and so it like rains pretty hard, and then these poisonous frogs come out like a lot. And
Yay.
I have a little neighbor cat who comes over because I feed him canned food, so he comes to visit me. And I went to put his food down, and there was a frog just staring at me, and I was like, and I like gasped, and I turned around, ran, hit my elbow on a door frame.
Oh no!
No good deed goes unpunished.
I was telling my mom, and she was like, "What is it gonna do to you? It doesn't have any teeth if it bites you. Like, what are you scared of?" And I honestly think I just have this crazy frog phobia. I don't know why, but I can't.
Have you always had it? Have you always had the phobia?
Yes.
Okay.
I've noticed as I've gotten older, though, it's gotten way worse.
Yeah.
Way
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm supposed to go the other way, right?
Yes, and so now, I do get a lot of my friends that troll me with frogs. So there's
I have
always
seen
mean
that this
frogs
week,
or
big time.
tips or-
Yeah, we
So
I wish I
decided
had
not
a
to
button.
jump on that bandwagon, and because it looked like you had plenty of people throwing pictures and videos at you. So, but well, this is the time where we kind of get into just cryptocurrency talk, and we're just going to touch base. We realize this podcast is going to be a little longer than normal, which we're totally cool with, and hopefully anybody that's still watching it is enjoying it, because I believe the most fun stuff is still yet to come when we get into Caleb's Choice.
Yeah.
But
Whatever this guy
there
wants.
is there is some big stuff that is happening that we just want to touch on for anybody that's out there. Some upcoming releases. Of course, you got your SAFEMOON shirt on. We are supposed to know what the product is tomorrow. At least that's my understanding. So fingers crossed. I quit guessing 2 weeks ago because I thought I knew what it was, and they said no, and I read everybody else's guess, and SAFEMOON's like, no. So we'll see what that is.
I
But
like being surprised.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Holly, but I really feel like this is the beginning of a bunch of releases. Like, this is the one that is going to start it. And I don't mean like a release every day for people that don't know a lot about crypto, but I mean a steady schedule of releases, whether it be bi-monthly or every 2 months, whatever it may be. But do you feel the same way with that? Do you think this is going to jumpstart something big?
I do.
Okay.
I definitely do. I think it's coming, and it's coming soon. We've been waiting for all of this for quite a while now. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's only a year and a couple months, guys. Like, it's really not that long.
But the
But
last few months have
I am
seemed
so
really
ready.
long.
yes, but they're working, and they're working hard, and so
Oh, yeah,
I am
absolutely.
so ready for them to. I'm not a speculator. I
No,
don't
me
like
either.
it because I've done it one time, and they never shot me down. And I had a lot of responses and a lot of likes on that comment about Connect.
Okay.
But SafeMoon had said, they're going to rename SafeMoon Connect. And
Yes.
so I said, and so they had said not exactly, when somebody had said, is it SAFEMOON Connect? And they said, not exactly. So my only speculation ever was that it was going to be related to SAFEMOON Connect, just named differently.
And did they shoot that down or no?
They did not.
Okay.
And it got retweeted. They saw it and they never shot it down. So
I think that you may be onto something there, but I'm not going to speculate because I'll say it now and all these people will watch it, and then tomorrow at noon, people are like, you're an idiot.
Well, and people like to hold on to your words. That's why I really don't like to speculate, because I'm such a supporter of SAFEMOON that I feel like people really think I have some inside information. And so, I'm going to say, and I don't.
It's funny to hear the people that claim they have inside information, and then you realize they don't.
Don't really.
Yeah, that what cracks me up.
Bless her heart.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah,
No,
it makes me laugh. I don't get upset about it; it just makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Let me ask you another question on that with things that are happening. So, if I have been reading it right, Grove is getting ready to burn a bunch of tokens this month. Do you want to expand on that a little bit? Do you know about that?
No, is this part of their hyperburn?
That's what and I honestly...
so I've known about this for about a month now.
I was going to say last 20 days or so is when I started hearing about it. But
and I think they've been kind of doing it here and there, but I believe from what I've gathered, and you know what, it's so crazy. I have such a hard time keeping up with all these projects, and I am invested in Grove. I love Grove. Mindy is amazing. Got to meet her in person. But
a little bit jealous.
You know what? She is exactly how she is on Twitter. She is in person, and that there's no difference. So I
think we're learning today that you are exactly who you are in person as you would be on Twitter too.
I am.
But no, with that hyperburn though, that is something that I believe the month of September was like the big part of it, and I should be more prepared on it. But just like everybody else out there, life has been crazy the last couple weeks, and so I didn't get to do as much research on that as that I wanted to. But anytime there is something called hyperburn, I think that's probably something we should get excited about. Especially with a project that we trust, So, also some things that are out there, and we've kind of talked behind the scenes about different things, and I know you don't know much about Dfs Mafia, but that's another one too on the BSC blockchain that has, it's a fantasy sports betting platform.
How do I not know about this?
I don't know. You really should look into it. Do your own research. But if anybody that's watched this before knows I am super stoked about this thing. Actually, that's one of the deals where I know people that know people inside of that organization, and they all seem to be top notch. And I'm not sitting here trying to plug them and say go do this, but big things. Yesterday, their soft launch happened, meaning if you wanted to sign up, you could actually start using their platform and betting on fantasy sports. And if there are no problems, the actual hard launch is September 11th, which is also the first day of the opening day of NFL. Right. So I think you're going to see a lot of advertisements on TV and stuff like that too. But it is a really cool platform. It is also... They are way ahead of schedule. This came out in December, and I got into it in early January because I know a guy that knows some people that are with the token, and they do have a Twitter presence, big on Telegram, big on Discord. The owner, CEO is always responding to people and talking to people, but their big launch date is coming up like a week from Sunday. So that is something to look into if you haven't looked into that. We are not paid by them whatsoever. We have talked to them and just to be transparent like we always are, we've talked to them in messages on Twitter. That is all. We don't get paid to do anything, but we also like to tell people when we are excited about something, and this is definitely something we are excited about. So check it out. May not be for you.
It will be.
Yeah. Well,
And I
it's
think football
also
is my jam. Okay.
yeah. Well, I saw you in a picture of in a Rams jersey, and I have to ask you, even though this has nothing to do with crypto, is that a bandwagon thing, or have you always been a Rams fan?
No, definitely not. So my dad has been a Rams fan since, before I was born, because Arizona didn't have a football team.
Right.
And so, the closest to Arizona was LA. And so he did, and at that time they were LA.
Yeah.
And my dad is the reason I love sports, because I was a daddy's girl. And so I watched it all the time with them. And I just did it because that was something he was interested in. So I have been a Rams fan since I can remember. And even when they were terrible, even when they moved to St. Louis and then moved back. So no, not bandwagon.
Okay, well, and that makes sense too, because they were in St. Louis for so long, because we are in Missouri, and so but we are Chiefs fans, Kansas City fans, for the same reason that you're a Rams fan, because our parents were Chiefs fans. Because trust me, I'm old enough to remember when it wasn't fun to be a Kansas City Chiefs fan. It was not a good time.
The Rams had like 10 years. It was hard. It was actually longer than that. It was rough, but
for sure. We get it. Trust us, we get it. And we were a little bit jealous when the Rams won the Super Bowl in St. Louis too. Not gonna lie, at least I was. Fought on the Rams a little bit, but so I just saw that. I thought that was kind of cool, and I thought that I'd ask you about that. I meant to ask you about that earlier, but I figured to throw it in there now. So the other little bit of news, and then we're going to get into Caleb's choice, where we're going to learn a little bit more about Holly and the three of us, I guess, too. The Erythium Vert V2 is supposed to happen September 15th now. They moved it to the 11th, and they moved it back to the 15th. And if that happens, that's something that everybody needs to be keeping their eyes on. Now, I think a lot of people are looking at it as Erythium and maybe Erythium Classic are going to get a boost for this. But there are so many tokens on the Erythium chain.
I say Ethereum. Is it not
Ethereum?
I said
Holly.
I said all right. I said it wrong. I did it again.
No, you're right. This is from the very beginning. I'm always like, Erythium?
No, it's...
Huh?
I said it wrong
again. Which one are you talking about?
I can't hear myself very well here.
It's Ethereum.
It's Ethereum. Right. I don't know where I got that, but I have always done that.
Yeah.
Always.
I think both of them. It's a brother thing, because I'm like, it's Ethereum.
So Ethereum, anyways, I'm sorry, but that's not even going to make it to the blooper reel. That's just going to be real life.
I was going to correct you right off the bat, but I didn't want to embarrass you.
I'm cool with
that.
I'm glad you did, because it's been bothering me. I'm like,
I don't get embarrassed very easily.
Is this a new token?
But that is going to have...
It's a rug pull.
If that is, we're all doomed.
Yeah.
But that is going to be something that has a bunch of implications for tons of tokens. And, one of the ones that we've talked about before is the... Ethereum. Now I can't say it right. Say it for me. Ethereum Doge Bridge. Because I think that's going to be huge. But if you look at the different things that are going to happen with V2, you are going to see the off ramps be a lot easier to get to, which is going to, I think, move some money from that blockchain to other blockchains and also make it easier to get it back into fiat. I think that this is something in the next 2 or 3 months we're going to look at and go, we thought that was going to be big, but that is way bigger than we thought than we even thought it was going to be. Yeah. So just some things for people to look at. Most of the people that watch this probably already know about most of those things. For those of you who have never seen our podcast before, we usually spend a good 10 minutes talking about different things that's going on. Honestly, there are some weeks where I don't really want to talk about crypto because there doesn't seem to be anything fun going on. But then there's weeks that are coming up. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, that I believe every week we're going to have something new to talk about, something exciting to talk about that's going on. So, but that's kind of the crypto talk for today. Did you have anything that you wanted to add? Anything you've heard out there? If not, that's
really.
cool. But
there's, I don't know if you guys heard the project BBTF, Blockbuster Token.
Yeah, we've talked about that a couple
I
times.
recently got to meet the team. Don Bailey specifically, amazing person.
Seems like
they have some big things planned, and there's also they're actually coming out with one called Mirror Protocol, and that's you get reflections in blue chips. So it might be one to really look into. Gotti is the director. His name
I didn't put that together. Gotti is the director of that?
Yes, and Gotti,
I did not put that together.
A smart man.
Yeah.
I
we
really,
follow him
really
on Twitter too.
Yeah. So, So those are two really to look out for. Blockbuster Token did have a rough start. They got exploited. I mean, it was, they had something wrong with their contract, and then a hacker came in and stole some money, and it was a rough start. But I can tell you the team is doing everything they can to get it back on track, automating the reflections, because you do get reflections in like 8 different tokens. Yeah. So like I have always said, the team, I know that they're solid people. Troy is their COO. He is the most. You think that I'm nice? Troy is me times.
Nicer than you?
No, Holly, come on now. I don't think that's
oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah. So just kind of keep an eye out for those two. Mirror Protocol. They haven't really said when launch is, but I think it's coming sooner than later.
Yeah, I just heard about that this week.
But yeah.
So I'll be looking into that for sure. We've talked about this before. I didn't really know what to think about Blockbuster's tech token. I looked into it. I'd kind of seen some things that looked familiar to other things that I had seen before, I thought. Won't name names because those projects didn't turn out very well. But what I really like about it is the fact that they had a problem, they came up with a solution, and they fixed it. They had another problem, they came out with a solution, and they're fixing it. Because everyone's a great CEO when things are going perfect, right? I mean, anybody can run any business as long as it's running perfect. But when things go bad, I want to know, how are you going to fix it? And if you are fair with that and you fix it, I will have more faith in you then. Not that I want to see it go bad, but if that opportunity ever happened, a guy like Don Bailey, it's like, hey, I have a lot of faith in you now because I've seen the way that you have interacted with the community, how open, transparent. I personally believe a lot of lesser teams would have just folded that thing. Especially the second time, they would have just been like, you know what? Nope, we're done. We're done. Out. See you guys. Would have shut the lights off, but they did not do that.
The best and coolest thing that I noticed about both these, both the exploits or the contract breaking the first time and then the hack, but both times the community and CEOs or people from other projects stepped in to say, hey, let me help you.
Yep,
and it was
saw
like
that too.
From
that was
all
really
different projects. And SAFEMOON came in and said, Dawn, what can we do to help? So, I mean, it was from everywhere. And it wasn't like, oh, you're doing this on purpose. I mean, you did have, your people who were like scammers. But the fact that the community and the other projects came together to help this one project that's what really sold it on me, because they obviously, all these other projects obviously have faith in Don, that they wanted to help him and they want him to succeed.
Well, and how much faith did that give you in those other projects too? I mean, those other projects stepped up to help. And if you're already in that, I mean, that makes me feel 10 times better about SAFEMOON.
Right.
Because we talk about all the time, unifying DeFi. And that's what part of that is the projects themselves have to come together too. It's not just the people that are invested in it, it's also the CEOs and things like that. And that made me feel 10 times better about my investment in those other projects that did that. I thought those are quality people. That's the kind of people I want to get behind. So, yeah.
Right, and the ones that they came out of the woodworks, the projects that were less than supportive, I should say. They came out and really put some heat on Blockbuster and Dawn.
And I didn't think that was very cool.
Those are the ones you're like, okay, you're not, you're not in it for DeFi as a whole. You're in it for yourself. So, okay, I'll stay away from you.
I was only invested in one of the tokens that did that, and I can just say that I'm no longer invested in that token because I don't care. Like I said, it's not about win Lambo for us. It's about being able to help people with time to give ourselves. And so be it if I make money on a project that may not be ethical if I don't know it, but if I know it, I'm not interested, and those sort of things. People show their true colors when stressful events happen. People will, they're angry or they're excited or, whatever. A lot of times you can find out who a true person is based on those times. And some people showed their true colors when this went down, and for the good, but also for the bad. So, and not financial advice, obviously. Invest in whoever you want to invest in. I have no issues with that. But for me and my money, we will take it with people that care about people and people that will look out for one another. And that was awesome to see, I thought.
Yeah.
So, all right, Holly. Well, we are at the time of the podcast where we turn it over to Caleb.
Yeah. But let's do a pause real quick, and we'll come back and do that.
Okay. Right. We're gonna pause it real quick. Yep. Intermission.
We'll call it intermission. We're back.
All right. Our first question for Caleb's choice. We kind of already know the answer, I think, for Holly, anyways. Was which crypto got you started in? Got you interested in crypto? You were saying Doge, right? That's got you going. That's kind of how I think most of us. Greg, what was yours?
Well, what really got me into it was Bitcoin originally.
You got to tell the story, man.
Like 10 years ago, probably, when the Bitcoin was starting to be a thing, I went and was actually going to start mining, and I even created my own wallet on just blockchain.com, which was a lot more difficult back then. And I had my debit card out, and I was going to buy 2 Bitcoin. They were worth $200 a piece. And I was like, my wife will kill me if I do this. And I didn't. I even set up my wallet and everything. Yeah. And then 10 years later, then Doge was doing a thing. I was like, I better jump on it this time.
Your $200 would have been worth $120,000 at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
And I was fearful.
Yeah, I understand.
So for you, it was Doge too, you think?
Well, Doge, and then I got into ETC and basically whatever Robin had, I kind of just put a little bit in there and tried to learn how crypto worked and went from there.
Yeah, it was really easy in the first 3 months.
It was, yeah.
And then that June of 2000 whatever year, it seems like a lifetime ago, but happened, and then it got real interesting on playing the ups and downs. Because I'll be honest with you, I started off doing this to day trade, and then I realized how foolish that was. Yeah. So I don't day trade anymore. But I'm kind of with you guys. Doge started it, but really ETC is where I made a lot of money early. And so that's kind of been one of the ones I've stuck with for a long time, and that's kind of why I'm excited about it being proof of work and the other being, see how I said the other, so I didn't mess it up. Being proof of stake now.
What is the other one?
Yeah, whatever. Because it's been, I think it's weird. It's weird how we get emotionally attached to crypto sometimes. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's a blockchain. Why am I emotionally attached to this thing? But
you love it,
I guess.
Much wow.
At some point. So my answer for that would probably be ETC.
ETC, okay.
You want to change your answer from Doge, Holly, or you staying with it?
Well, I mean, no, Doge. And I still own Doge. I still have a lot of it.
So do I.
We all do.
I kid myself. I wish I would have sold it all, because I did sell half of what I had at 69.8.
Wow. Right here.
Oh, yeah, you knew. Yeah, that was good.
You guys didn't even clap for that.
Yeah, well, it was up to 72, and then I saw it come down, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, just sell it. Just get rid of it. So I sold half of it. I wish I would have sold it all.
I wish we would have known you then. Yeah. Or we were like, sell, boys.
Where were you then in our lives, Holly?
Helped us out.
Yeah.
All right, what's the next one, Karen?
Our next one, number 2, is what's your guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
You get to go first, Josh.
Me?
Yeah.
Guilty pleasure.
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
K-pop. I like K-pop.
What's K-pop?
It's
She knows. Holly knows.
All I know was he's on.
yes, thank you. All right, you know what?
Explain it to
secure.
me. I don't know what that even is.
It's
Korean.
Korean pop music.
Yeah,
Oh, what, dude.
in Korean.
I should have known
Guys.
this.
You don't know what they're saying, right?
No.
No.
Yes.
What's that?
Yeah.
BTS?
Yeah.
Yes. Smooth
that
like
group,
butter.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
See, I know K-pop.
Wow.
My kids listen to that
My
one.
mind is blown. I'm like, what?
And Blackpink and Twice and a whole bunch of
We don't even know you,
AP.
Greg. We don't know. We don't
That's
even
why.
know.
I mean, what would you do if I walked in and had K-pop playing? What
I'd
would
probably leave.
He'd probably dance.
Probably.
I would
I guess I
probably
know what
dance
to do
to
if I
it.
want to be alone.
There you go. Yeah, true. You got one, Caleb? We'll let Holly go last on this one. Give her a chance to think.
I love cooking and baking. I love trying to make new things in the kitchen.
A 6'8" chef.
Yep.
You pretty much do whatever you want, man.
Right.
Okay. Mine isn't an activity as much as it is just enjoying it. My guilty pleasure, and this is stupid probably to everybody else, but I love chocolate mint milkshakes. I love them. That's
What
it.
you
Do you make them
That is
yourself?
it.
Like homemade?
Oh,
or you
yeah.
go to a restaurant?
Nobody makes them right anywhere
Oh.
else. So, yeah, there it is.
At home, you said?
At home. Homemade.
Homemade.
All right, Holly, what's your guilty pleasure?
Oh, mine is Fortnite.
Ah, you still haven't added me on Fortnite
I
yet.
love Fortnite. I love it.
You got to
You
check
have
out
to
some of
play.
our Fortnite videos on the YouTube channel then.
Yes, I will. I love
And
it.
you said you were going to add me, but we could do some duos.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna do it. We're doing it. Yes. I just haven't had time. I've been
No, I'm with
everywhere.
you.
So
The last few weeks has
Yeah.
been nuts.
Fortnite
so.
is good. Yeah, that's a good one. I used to play that a lot.
I like that answer a lot. That's way better than my answer.
yeah, people when I tell them you want to play Fortnite, and they're like, "You, Holly, you play Fortnite?" I'm like, yes.
Do you like the build or no build?
No build.
Yeah,
I'm
no
not
build.
good at
There we go.
building.
I would not play it if you had to still build. I still played it, but I can't build anything.
I think that's just us older generation.
Yeah.
The young kids like, and I'm like, just shoot me.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen,
I'm right here. Shoot me.
It's
Yeah.
just
I got a
what?
shotgun.
Yeah.
I've seen people build things so high I can't even see them anymore, even in the scope. And I'm like,
Right.
how am I supposed to kill them?
I'm just like, I'm right here. Shoot me. I give up.
All right. So what's the next one, Caleb?
All right. What super app? Can we
Do what?
Yeah, hammer. Tongue twister.
Wow.
Wait.
No, that
Eric-
stays in. If
Well,
you're gonna leave my misprint,
Oh no, it's staying in.
Yeah, it's staying
We're
in,
gonna
so
see
go
what
ahead.
YouTube translates that to.
They're gonna be.
we're probably gonna get banned.
What the?
This
Go
water
ahead.
boy.
What superpower do you wish you had? Don't look at my sheet.
Who wants to go first?
So, I'll go. You go first.
Okay, so
I'll go
depends
first,
on-
don't
okay, it depends on if I'm gonna be nice Josh or evil Josh.
You be a villain or superhero?
Yeah, because if
Gosh.
I'm gonna
I
be
never thought about being evil, Josh.
evil Josh thinks X-ray vision would be cool,
It's scary.
No.
but nice Josh thinks I want to be I want to fly. I think that would be cool.
He's
You're
mine.
He's totally,
Yeah, that was your answer, wasn't it? I could
I
tell by the
wanna
way you looked at me
Thanks, like, so-
that was your answer.
I'd soar like an eagle.
You're not gonna fly. You're just gonna soar. You're gonna glide.
Yeah,
Like a buzzard.
it's falling with style.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh, style.
The Buzz Lightyear way. I mean, flying, yeah.
Okay.
What do you?
I do time travel.
Time travel.
Ooh.
I like to go back in the past.
You're gonna jack some stuff up.
Yeah.
I never thought of that one.
Holly, what would your superpower be if you had one?
Invisibility.
All right,
There you go.
I
Ooh.
can get behind that.
Hmm.
I actually
There's
had that
so
written
many
down, but I
times
skipped
I'd
it
love to be a
over.
fly on the wall.
Oh,
So
Yeah,
That's yeah.
I could get behind that for sure.
Yeah, that's a good one.
all right.
All right, next question, Caleb.
Next question. Your favorite movie quote?
Favorite movie quote.
Mine's from Dumb and Dumber.
Okay, what is it?
You want to guess
About
it?
right.
There's too
Spent
many.
a whole life savings on turning a man to a dog.
No.
What?
So you're telling me there's a chance?
That is true. My favorite scene from that movie is when he throws that snowball at her face at like close range as hard as he can. I was like, she's playfully like kind of flirting with him, and he wow, that cracks me up every time. What's yours, Greg?
Is that it, Daddy? Did the penguin tell you? Off Billy Madison.
It had to be an Adam Sandler movie.
Adam Sandler, Billy Madison. Any quote in that movie?
Holly, you want to go next or you want to go last?
I'll go last because
Okay.
I think I have. I mean, I wouldn't go for my favorite, but it's one that pops to mind every time. So
Okay.
go ahead.
See, I am the exact same way because I don't know if I can really say I have a favorite. There are a ton that in just random moments, movie quotes will pop up and then we'll say them or whatever. But the one that I always go back to is from my childhood, Major League, when Wild Thing Vaughn first gets on the mound and Bob Uecker goes, "That's a bit outside," and he like breaks the fence and walks the first four guys, and he's like, "Ball 4, ball 8, ball 12."
You walk this.
He's walking bases loaded. So I would have to say, in my very poor Bob Uecker impression, that's a bit outside. That's my favorite movie clip. All right, you're up, Holly.
Shoot fly.
So this is so weird,
It's
but
okay. This whole thing is weird.
No,
Caleb's
no,
choice
it's-
is all about being weird.
It's an adventure.
Caleb.
Yeah.
That's what makes
so they were cones. So have you ever seen The Wedding Singer?
Say that
Wedding
again.
Singer?
You broke up a
Adam
little bit.
Sandler.
Yeah.
Oh, The Wedding Singer.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a great movie.
That's
They
a
were
good.
cones. I don't know why, but that pops in my head every time. Anything, he's rushing around trying to get a job to be a limo driver. He's the only limo driver. And he was like, "Well, you hit a couple of cones," and he goes, "They were cones."
They're
cones.
I don't know why, but that was one for me.
You know what? We're
I
gonna
remember that.
in honor of Holly being on our podcast today, let's make that a short and we'll put it on our YouTube channel. Deal? All right. I'll see what I can do for you, Holly.
I like any Adam Sandler movie.
All right. Well,
Drew
Holly,
Barrymore.
the floor is yours because you have a question for Caleb's choice. Caleb doesn't normally let people come up with questions, so you should
Special.
feel very special.
Yeah,
So, if you can have any mythical creature as a pet, what would it be?
Can I answer for Josh?
No, you cannot answer for me. I can't believe that's your question.
This is awesome.
Oh wow!
Did they tell you to ask this question?
No.
See, Greg, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there. Greg thinks that I have this fascination with unicorns,
No, you do.
but I don't. But ever since we worked together in our old job, because he's the IT guy, he would sneak into my office and change my screensaver to unicorns.
No,
Yes.
that was already there. I was trying
It
to
was
change it
not.
off of
Yeah, he's
unicorns.
trying to help you get
So
off of
then
that.
you say mythical creature, and all of us go, great, unicorns.
Denial can be an ugly thing.
Yeah.
So somebody besides Greg go.
Mythical.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like
I want-
Witcher stuff.
I want a dragon. After watching Game of Thrones, I want a
that?
dragon.
Those creatures off The Witcher. I can't think what they're called.
Oh, off The Witcher?
Mm,
The creatures from The Witcher?
some of
I don't know.
that's not mythical though. That's just
That's mythical.
It's not real.
Mythical's
Yeah,
not
it's
real.
mythical.
Maybe it is real, Josh.
Mythical.
That's
I
why
don't
I want
think
to time
it's real,
travel
Caleb.
and find out.
Dragon.
Yeah,
said
you need to
dragon.
time travel.
Yeah.
So what you guys got here?
You want the dragon?
I want dragon. If you've watched Game of Thrones, you gotta own a
Yes.
dragon. You have to.
Dragon.
Ooh.
I know what I would want. A Pegasus.
Ooh,
I'd
that's
fly on that horse
Yeah.
and go. I'm gonna burn it down with my dragon.
Oh, what's that?
Wow.
I'm gonna burn your Pegasus down with my dragon. We're gonna have air battles.
Wow.
I'll catch you before you hit the ground. Maybe.
No, you won't.
No.
But I can fly, remember?
But you
That was
can
my
imagine.
superpower. That's just the
That
horse is
should
like
have been
when I
our
just want to
favorite
chill.
movie quote, but you could
I can
imagine.
imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, come here, steed. My noble steed. Let's fly.
I'll say a griffin.
A griffin.
The bird, right?
Kinda. It's like a
All right,
flying-
so Holly, does
flying
yours
lot.
fly? What's
Mine
your favorite?
does fly, but
All of our
it's
mythical
a little
creatures fly. A
A
what?
little fairy.
Oh, fairy.
Ah.
Tinkerbell.
Little Tinkerbell. I hadn't really thought of that.
Interesting.
I like that.
Sparkle, throw some sparkle on me. Perfect.
Doesn't
Yeah,
that kind of
'cause
like
you're always
fit,
thinking
though?
happy thoughts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
Fly
that's
too.
your personality, right? I mean, that fits.
She can
That
fly,
makes sense.
She can fly. She can Peter Pan.
There you go. He sings sometimes.
Are you
Songs about to
singing
sing.
Peter Pan songs?
Yeah.
Not loud enough for anybody to hear you.
That's all right.
Spicy chocolate bar.
Spicy chocolate.
Spicy chocolate bar. Yeah, so I have to check that out on one of our podcasts. I don't even remember what number one that was, but speaking of, you know what? That's a great segue.
Uh-oh.
We do a taste test at the end of every podcast. And one time we had a spicy chocolate bar.
Spicy chocolate bar.
And it actually may have been the most...
That would have been so much better than what
It
we're
was
about.
actually the most normal thing
Yeah.
we've eaten. When you go back and you see it, we taste tested flavored sodas that I'm not much of a... I don't get nauseous really, but some of those, whew, just the smell alone. I mean, I can't even remember what they
Sweet
were.
corn.
Sweet corn and ranch and hot sauce and...
Sodas.
It was bad. Like, we're not doing that again. At
Ever.
least I'm not. So, but we had one where we had the spicy chocolate bar, and Caleb came up with a song about it. So, but that was actually the most normal
pretty good,
thing we've
yeah.
ever taken. So, speaking of taste tests, we had Holly on, and she was kind enough to agree to do the taste test with us, which thank you, Holly. We appreciate it. So, we had to drop ship or something.
Mm-hmm.
Took a while to kind of figure out what that would be, what's feasible, what's not feasible. And we came up with alligator jerky. So,
Yummy.
Holly, do you have your alligator jerky?
The best thing about
There it is.
the best thing about alligator jerky is it's not crickets.
That's true. It's not crickets, Holly.
I think
Positive.
I would have to be like, I don't think I could do crickets, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Because that is what Amazon suggested when I
this
went
is stretching it for me.
to it. So,
Oh my
it
gosh.
smells a
good.
little different than beef jerky, but not much.
A little.
Don't get sick.
We can edit you throwing up out of the deal if we need
Oh,
to.
You'll probably like it.
She's gonna buy a case of it.
If not, the cats will eat it probably.
Oh yeah.
All right, let me put my gum out. Oh my goodness.
Smell it first. Tell us what you think it smells like.
I mean, it smells like jerky.
It really
Yeah.
doesn't
To me.
smell much different. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Cheers. Oh, it's hard as a rock.
Oh, it's very chewy.
That's chewy.
Mhm.
That's not bad.
I don't know, guys.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
We're going to lose Holly.
We can, oh.
Okay, so what did you think, Caleb?
To me, it wasn't bad at all. I still can't taste that great because of COVID and stuff. But
Caleb has
That
a
is not
pass.
fair.
I know.
I
that.
know. You should
Uh-huh.
see the stuff. He's like, well, it doesn't really taste like much to me. I'm like, dude, that was the grossest thing ever. What do you think, Greg?
I like it.
I actually kind of liked it too. I will tell you, I thought it was pretty good. Holly,
Holly's like,
what do
no.
you think?
Well, here's the truth. It's not terrible.
Okay.
However, I remember that I'm chewing on alligator. And it freaks me out a little bit. So I'm like, oh, that's gross. So
That's better than alligator chewing on you.
Yeah.
See, there's the positive again.
There you go.
always a positive.
The positives help us through the day.
Yes.
For sure. Well, Holly, I just want to say thank you very much for coming on here. We really appreciate it. For those of you that won't get to see all the behind the scenes stuff that will happen today, it has been a blast.
Yeah.
Even through some technical difficulties and things like that, we've had a lot of fun. I honestly don't even know how long this took us, but I imagine it was probably longer than Holly wanted it to be. But Holly, we
Guys
really
are
appreciate
amazing.
you.
You're
I
amazing.
just want to say thank you for being you, and don't let anybody change you. And Holly, anytime you want to come back on here, you let us know. We will be happy to have you, even if it was just for one segment. Just let us know. But thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
We really
Thank you. You guys have no idea. Like I have been looking forward to this since you reached out, and I was actually taken aback that you reached out to me because I was like, why me? You know, but I am so thankful you did because I've had so much fun, and I think the next one I should just fly to Missouri and do it in the studio with you because that would be fun.
That would be awesome.
That'd be
cool. We can figure that out.
I have the
for
luxury
sure.
to kind of fly wherever I want, and so
We can definitely pick you up at the airport and maybe show you. I'm going
other
to
side
offend
of
all the
Missouri.
St. Louis people right now, but the good side of Missouri,
The good side.
the Kansas City side of Missouri.
Yeah, you heard that. My
Yeah.
sister lives in St. Louis.
Oh yeah, Greg's sister. There you go. But in all seriousness,
amazing.
I'm glad you had a blast. And like I said, don't let anybody change you. Keep being you, because we think you're awesome, and I know there's a ton of people who think you're awesome too. So thank you.
Yeah, we love good people.
Yeah.
We really do.
Yeah.
That's why we reached out. It wasn't about, not that you don't have crypto knowledge, but it wasn't about that. It wasn't about blockchain experts. It wasn't about new inside information about cryptos. It's just about talking with good people.
Yeah.
And we all happen to like cryptos. So that's just what it's about. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
And to everybody else out there, if you've never seen our podcast before, subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a follow on Twitter, give us a like, and comment in the sections. We are always looking for new things, whether it be things we can improve on, whether it be things that you think maybe you've got an idea that we think would be awesome.
Taste
We
test.
like to, a taste test idea, because after 21 weeks, we're running a little short on ideas, okay? So we've got like 3 in the bag, I think, and then after that, we're going to have to really kind of struggle to find something. So whatever that may be. But guys, have a great weekend, a long holiday weekend,
Yeah,
Labor Day weekend,
Yeah.
and God bless.
Yeah. God bless.